You early set up,
I'm early.
yeah.
I was gonna say, I think the capacity of the space is only around 100 people. So just keep that in mind.
Cheryl space?
Yeah, well, we rent it. It's a county space. It's our space.
Don't worry, 100
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, we've never had.
That should be
And
so
100
good, we
people-
have 100.
people access.
That's good. Well, man.
Okay,
That's big.
Michael, we need to go look at that tables and chairs.
All right.
Jim, you don't have much on charter, but just give a quick minute or two.
Okay,
Bring it all over.
Listen up, folks, please.
all right, so the Charter Revision Board, there was at the last commission conference meeting at 1:30 in the afternoon, there was a review done by the Assistant City Attorney on the Charter Review Board's recommendations to change to the charter. Let me just go through real quickly the highlights. So we talked about age to qualify for an office. We talked about residency requirements. These are the things that were brought up. These are the items that correspond to charter amendment changes. The city form of government was another item that was brought forward. Initiatives and referendums. That was kind of a dicey conversation between the presenter, the assistant city attorney, and the commissioners. Another item that was brought up is forfeiture of office, sale of public property, sale of city-owned property, elections, and timing of the 26 ballot initiatives. So in other words, when the charter board goes before the city commission, they make a recommendation. There's a number of charter items that are up for changing, and the board makes those recommendations. The city commission then comes back to the charter and says, okay, we accept this, we don't accept that. They get to make the decision about what charter revision items are actually placed on the ballot. And the ballot would be in the 2026 election, November of 2026. So there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes to get any of these changes brought forward. Bill was able to get up, he was asked to get up and speak on behalf of the council, and he did a great job because he basically was talking about where the council sits in terms of doing outreach. So he presented the fact that the council already has a plan to do outreach. We talked about it numerous times at this meeting. And they said, that sounds like a great idea. After the meeting, or after the presentation, nothing was decided. We didn't anticipate anything to be decided. The commission recommended that the charter board go back and provide a lot more definition. So on all the items that I just mentioned, the commission felt that there wasn't enough clear definition in those changes to warrant a change. So they wanted to have more clear definitions, like for residency, a clear understanding of what the wording meant. And I think earlier we were listening to our legislative representative talking about how lawyers are very concerned about where you put a comma. And that's part and parcel of the commission's concern regarding the things that were brought forward by the assistant city attorney in that presentation. So while it may seem, the things that were presented, the changes that were presented may seem clear to us, from an attorney's standpoint, there was room for misinterpretation or an otherwise intended interpretation. So because of that, all of the recommendations are going back to the board. The board will be meeting this Thursday, and it's not a start all over. It's just trying to make things a little clearer for all the items forward. They were very much in favor. The commission was very much in favor of doing the outreach as we outlined it. No specifics were given in terms of where we go with that and when we do it. That would come after they cull through all the recommendations that were made. And that's probably going to be sometime after the first of the year. They're going to try to look at it again in December. I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's an awful lot of critical things that have to take place before they really get back and dig into this. There's so much material here to review. And for them to spend the time, it's incredibly important. But it tends to get kicked to the back. I've seen it happen now for almost 3 years. That's just the reality. You know, other things come up, a new city hall, issues with the police station construction. All those things take precedence over this. It just happens. So
Okay.
that's where we are.
What
So,
time are the meetings? And they're here, right? They're in this,
Meetings are here. They start at 5:30 on the first Thursday of every month.
the first Thursday?
Right. And they should be, well, they're recorded. I checked again tonight. They haven't been posted on the city's website. And we have to have the minutes posted too, so they haven't been posted. But if you're interested, you can go to the city's website, but I'll put it out there as soon as there's a link available to put out. It would be on YouTube, because that's where it's recorded and posted. If you go to YouTube TV or YouTube and type in Fort Lauderdale Charter Vision Board, you should see a number of videos that you can watch and see what goes on. And I encourage everybody to do that because it's really important. And I would encourage everybody to come to the meeting. No one ever shows up. You know, I've been doing this over 3 years now. And once in a blue moon, somebody will show up for a few minutes, but the public participation is highly encouraged. We don't see it.
real quick, and what he said, at the end of my comments to the commission, I asked them to direct staff to work with the Council of Civic Associations and get that outreach back going, because as we all know, this is a big elephant and we can't bring the elephant in the room at one time and all of us try to digest it. So we got to start now if they want anything on the referendum for next fall.
I was going to compliment you again on right at the end where they seem to be drifting off into nowhere land. Bill got up and he said, oh, well, this is all fine and good, but you know, we gotta have public participation. And brought them back to that point where they actually gave the staff guidance that they wanted them to start on a public participation effort, okay? Because if they don't do that, we'll be sitting here for another, as you say, we'll be sitting here for another 6 months.
Yeah.
And
it won't get on
and then
the
it
ballot.
won't get on the ballot because there's a time issue here.
There's a
right?
time issue, right? They have to make their decision by
I think it was June,
May,
June.
and it has to be into Board of Elections,
Right.
county election by June 6th, I believe, or June 8th. So
Okay,
in order for it to be on the ballot.
right. And the truth of the matter is, you say it's very complicated. It really isn't complicated. It's, you know, we're never gonna get into minutia of what is the definition of residence. We don't, I mean, let the lawyers fool around with what's the definition.
But that,
Yeah, but they gotta do that. It's not something that you gotta be a resident, okay, however you define it. You gotta be 18 years old to run for the
for
county,
office.
for office, which is crazy, but that's one of the.
There was a lot of debate about.
No, I don't want to get into.
No, you don't wanna get into those things.
Yeah.
No. The commission is not the only one who can bring an item forward on the ballot.
That's right.
And I bring this forward because there are other organizations who are watching this and who are very interested in moving the portions of the recommendations having to do with the sale of public property. And other organizations will, if they don't move it, will take the initiative to move it. Because that's really one of the most important parts of the charter review is how we deal with the disposition of city-owned property, parks, et cetera, et cetera. So I just wanna add that if the commission doesn't move these items, there are other ways for citizens to get together and move those items.
That's
Vote.
a citizen initiative that could be brought forward. It has to pass a legal review, but if it passes the legal review, then
Correct.
Okay, so that's not the council's, we're not
That's
encouraging.
not
No, we're
So-
working within the.
So as president, I,
All the detail, 'cause it's just-
Jim, I would like to ask on behalf of the board and the membership that at the next charter revision board is our representative, that you really drive home the direction staff was given.
I will.
And get, because there was no one from the charter revision board at the meeting, was there?
No.
Yeah, but Anthony represented them and Anthony's gonna be the lead on this, working with you to get this public outreach, and we just can't wait till the first of the year and all of a sudden be hashing this over again. So he needs to get the support of the board and come up with a plan and get us engaged.
To Bill's point about no one from the board being there, it's no fault of the board because the city commission had asked that the board doesn't attend and preferred to have somebody on staff do the presentation. So frankly, my opinion, I was kind of taken aback by that because I think it would have been more appropriate to have somebody on the board who's familiar with this do the presentation. It just changes the tone completely. So I don't want to get into my feelings about what transpired there.
Very good. Thank you. Marilyn, I left you on, there's really no movement on P3.
No, you know, they wanna do it, they say they wanna do it, they did a brief presentation of some of the salient points. And they said, go back and do some more. So there's no sense of urgency. I do not sense any sense of urgency.
Okay, 2026 board meeting and membership meeting dates are on the website. They've been approved by the board. So chat for next year. Nothing's really changed as far as the second Tuesday unless it falls on a holiday for membership, and then the board meetings on Mondays on Zoom. Approval of the old minutes from the September 9th meeting. I have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Albetta, all in favor, say aye. Any old business? Anything for the good and welfare? Vanessa, you had a funny look on your face. Our next board meeting will be November 24th via Zoom. If we had, but Thanksgiving's following weekend. But that's subject to change if we don't really have anything pressing.
Monday of Thanksgiving.
And our next membership is Monday, November 10th, because 11th is Tuesday, that's Veterans Day. So we're moving it up a day at a time in this room. You have this room reserved for us? Very good. You have our dates, reserve the room for next year here? Okay, we will get that to you. We need to make sure we have this room. Motion to adjourn? Thank you. Everyone, have a happy and safe Halloween.